It's recording now.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Alan Saltzman and I am the founder and owner of a little business called Yoga Tools. I make a line of tools for working different areas of the body. And right now I'd like to demonstrate a tool that I use every day that I've been using for quite a few years called a Zubo. This is a Zubo. This is about 7 inches of a dowel, length of dowel with rounded ends. And this can be used on the various trigger points in the musculature of the body. Right now I'd like to demonstrate how I use this on an area in the neck region that I call the yoke. I call it the yoke because often that's what it feels like when you're really aware of these particular muscles in the neck. Tension in some of these larger and deeper neck muscles feels like a yoke. Feels like a weight on your chest or something tight around your throat. This is an effective tool for addressing the tension in some of those muscles there. There's a number of muscles in this area that are involved. These are the neck flexor muscles, the muscles that draw the neck down and flex the neck on the body. One of those muscles is called the scalene muscles. And the trigger point for the scalene is in this region right here over the clavicle. The scalene, when it's tight, can refer pain into your chest, into your shoulder, into your upper back, down your arm, into your hand and your fingers. Scalene tension can trap blood vessels and nerves that go down into your arm, cause a host of symptoms. The technique that I like to use to work the scalenes is I'll hold the Zubo like that. I'll rest my elbows on my knees and I apply the end of the tool approximately where the pressure point or the trigger point is for the scalene here on the left side. Not a lot of pressure needs to be applied, but rest your elbows on your knees, lean slightly into the tool, allow the tool to apply some pressure into that area, and then stretch your head and your neck away from where you are applying pressure with the tool. And if there's tension and shortening in the muscle, you'll probably feel it just by doing this. Not a lot of pressure needs to be applied. Lean into the tool slightly, press a little, stretch, press, and stretch. And you might be surprised to find how much tension you feel in this region here. This is a pretty effective technique for working the scalene muscles and the trigger point in the scalenes. Stretch your head, neck away from where you apply the pressure. Hold it in the other hand like this. Apply pressure just above the clavicle on the other side. Lean in slightly and stretch your head and neck away. One side might be a lot tighter than the other. Explore both sides. Stretch your head, your neck. Apply pressure, lean, stretch. See if you can feel that muscle deep in the neck. Sometimes when you apply pressure like this, you'll also feel referred areas of discomfort and pain. For the scalene muscle, it's usually into the chest area, into the shoulder, down the arm, in the hand, and in the upper back. Press, stretch, press, and stretch. Another muscle, neck flexor muscle, that causes a lot of discomfort up into the head and the face is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This big muscle right here on the side of the neck. It attaches here on the sternum, on the clavicle, and then here at the base of the skull. The technique that I like to use to work that muscle, and the trigger points in that muscle are all along the length of the muscle here in the neck. So I like to hold the Zubo like this and use the length of the tool against the pressure points in the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Once again, I rest my elbows on my knees and I lean slightly into the tool. Press the length of the tool towards the side of the neck, maybe a little towards the front. Start towards the base of the neck and stretch your head and neck away. Press. And if there's tension in the sternocleidomastoid, you'll start to feel it. Stretch, press the tool all along the length of the muscle. Hold. Feel for those areas that feel tight, maybe a little sore. Let it press into those areas. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. Stretch. This is what's called a myofascial release technique. And it's a technique where both pressure is applied to the trigger points in the muscle and the muscle's also stretched at the same time. So it's often a more powerful technique than simply applying pressure to the muscle or simply stretching it. You're applying pressure and you're stretching it at the same time. See how I hold the Zubo like that? I'm going to use the length of the tool. Lean into it. Stretch the head and neck away. And apply pressure. One side might be much tighter and sore than the other. Try to be aware of what you're feeling. One other way to work a neck flexor muscle is the upper trapezius muscle. This muscle is often tight in people and will cause discomfort in the neck, cause a stiff neck, and also pain and discomfort into the face and the head. So some of these neck muscles, particularly the upper trapezius and the sternocleidomastoid, refer pain into the face and into the head and are often a source of tension headache. For this muscle, which is more towards the back of the neck, I like to hold the Zubo like this and apply the length of the tool more towards the back of the neck. Stretch the head and neck away from that area that you're pressing. Apply some pressure. Feel for any spots that are sore, tight. Press, stretch. Press, stretch. Here again, one side will probably feel tighter and have more soreness in it than the other. Hold the tool like this. Press it towards the back of the neck. And stretch. And feel for areas of tension and soreness. Hold it for a second. Here again, we're applying pressure to the muscle and we're stretching at the same time. This is a myofascial release technique. Very effective for lengthening and freeing up tight muscles. The Zubo can also be used to roll forehead like this, around the brow. Feel for areas of tension and soreness in the forehead, and even can roll top of the head and what's called the sutures, which are the joints between the cranial bones. Those joints, those sutures can be sore, tender. This is a way to locate where those sore sutures are in the skull and begin to treat them and roll them away. Here we go, under the brow, forehead, top of the head. Very simple tool, very effective for working the neck and the head region. This is the Zubo. I call it the Zubo because in Japanese shiatsu, that's the name for the pressure points. They're called Zubos. So I thought this would be an appropriate name for a tool for working the pressure points or the trigger points on the body. For more information, check out my website, yogatools.com, for this tool and for others that I also make and sell. Thank you. Turn it off. Press the red button right in the middle if you can.